just one by one isolating each and every ANDBOX player, and it just seemed as though that they're in control. So they're going to need to bring that into Icebox for sure, a map where we don't know a whole lot about them, Doug.
We don't. 100 Thieves going to be starting off on the defensive side, so it's going to be ANDBOX again on the attack to try to get something going and see what they can do to try to put Ascent in the rearview mirror as much as they possibly can. Now, let's talk about this a bit, right? You called on the strength, and we saw it. We tried talking about it a couple of times, but it was really on display for the entire series. Is the mid-round calling was excellent from 100 Thieves, particularly on the attacking side. How does Icebox, as a new map that, you know, tends to play a little bit differently, you and I have talked about this, does Icebox lend itself to that a bit more? Do you see any benefit with that play style on this map specifically?
I think absolutely, but maybe not for a few months. And I say that, you know, I'm treading lightly on this topic because, you know, even as, you know, soon as last weekend, we had a lot of discussion about Icebox, you know, not just Icebox, but the meta itself and the way that teams are playing the game. But I think Icebox in particular, there are teams that are finding success just by holding W essentially at A. And then there are teams that are spreading the map, that are kind of working long B, that are working through the middle of the map on Icebox. And it's interesting to me that there hasn't quite been, you know, formulas necessarily to beat, you know, either style of play, right? Like hard-nosed A doesn't necessarily have like a cure-all from any agent composition. And I think 100 Thieves is going to, you know, definitely have an opportunity here to show us maybe a different way in which Icebox is played. But I think it's just as likely that you could see Asuna, you know, taking plenty of duels from top belt, A main, you know, being that duelist that is going to go and challenge you, you know, just purely based on aim. And he's going to win in a lot of those scenarios. Certainly in the last map showed that he can do that. So I want to say yes, Doug. I want to say that this is a map where 100 Thieves can absolutely, you know, manipulate rotates, you know, pressure different spots of the map, take map control, bounce between the sites. But I think this is why it's so interesting, is this is definitely a favored ANDBOX map here. So 100 Thieves, a little bit of a tall order, but I think it could very well be a quick 2-0 here, Doug, if they're coming prepared.
Well, and you know, we talk about the resume that these teams have put together up until this point. 100 Thieves has not shown an Icebox game through this bracket, but as you said, ANDBOX certainly have, right? And it's not just that they've shown Icebox games; they've won big on Icebox games. You even look at it was just yesterday, right? They beat NRG 13-10 on Icebox. Certainly a team that's not a pushover by any means. That's a big win. So yeah, 100 Thieves look good, but ANDBOX is set up here, right? They have the tools. They've got the map that they want. They've got the potential to push us to the third map. They have to forget about Descent. They have to.
Yeah, and right away, this is Rebo switching over to the Sova off the Cypher. This is kind of what I'm saying. They previously maybe ran the Viper at times, and Box is doing them now. No Viper here. 100 Thieves, Asuna and Dicey immediately taking contact from the Sage over at A main. And both players are now in a lot of trouble as they've overextended, no cover on top belt. Yay, and Android answer back.
Yeah, and those are the fraggers that we needed to keep an eye on. They're the ones who are going to be the key to ANDBOX getting something going here, and so far so good. You mentioned the early aggression from 100 Thieves. It gets punished thanks to a really nice crossfire setup from ANDBOX, but there's still a lot of work to be done here, and I think this site, it can be so finicky, it's never a guaranteed thing.
Yeah, Seb getting over eager at mid is going to fall on that lurk, steals wise to it. And though the duelist battle definitely went the way of ANDBOX early on, this post plant, you know, like you said, there's a lot of opportunity, I guess, real estate that is being given up. They're falling passive towards belt, towards top pipes. And now with the retake underway, the Thieves already tapped the bomb once.
Tapped it, Steel gets one, Andrew trades it out, but Nitro's Frenzy causing problems. They're just down to Ye, who'd been working the middle of the map, making sure there was no flank and trying to ensure that nobody's going to be coming around. Nice shot from Ye. Perfect spot. He had, like, there's no way for them to stick here. Nitro has to go. Ye goes in as well. A 3K for him on the pistol. ANDBOX take the first round.
You know, I had my back of my mind. I really was not sure where that was planted, just based off the mini map. It kind of looks like it may have been in front of the site.
Yeah.
But Ye on that wrap, you know, Seb, I touched on it, fell, kind of got overeager on that lurk early on, but it almost was the play to lose that first fight to Steel, just because Ye gets free real estate to re-wrap all the way back up mid. You know, the last time that they saw Jet, she was on site opening things up against, I believe that was Asuna. So here we are, ANDBOX claiming the first pistol round. And, you know, when we're alluding to in our pre-match analysis, Doug, this is ANDBOX's opportunity to make this a 3-map series. 100 Thieves, there's a lot of question marks here. And if nothing else, that makes me anxious to see how they play. But for ANDBOX's sake, this seems like a great starting point. Taking the pistol, if you can clean up these next 2 rounds, we can continue that conversation we were having. Nevertheless, Ye is going to make a little bit of A presence early. The rest of his team have already pushed towards B long and what may be an early B play here, Doug.
Nitro's got a chance at something here. That's a big pick from Ye. Android gets in on it as well as Steel's taken out. Nitro understands now that the pressure's in his lap, but he isn't able to really respond to it at all as he's going to drop. It's just down to Hiko. He's got a Bucky, and he's got a classic. Maybe he doesn't have his friends in this instance, as he's going to drop. HP. Boy gets the last one, or HP. Very valid point. A flawless round from ANDBOX. They take the pistol. They take the following round. They're getting something going.
And 5 lived there, right? So for ANDBOX, that's what I'm talking about. That is what, if you're able to clear out the force buy, make this a 3-round start, have your 4th be the bonus. You know, that's best case scenario. And this is not always the most defender-sided scoreline of a map where, you know, you can easily have a strong attack side and a weak defense. But if you're a confident team, your team who's going to pick this map, you're going to pick Icebox against 100 Thieves, you need to be collected 5 or 6 here, I think, Doug. Ooh. Asuna already winning the opening belt duel against Ye. And, man, we've seen so many duels between these 2 individuals so far in this series already. And Asuna has definitely been getting the better of Ye, it seems like, Doug.
And when you win that duel over and over again, you're going to keep taking it, right? And if it's not broken, why change it? We'll see if ANDBOX here at the numbers disadvantage are able to continue the good momentum that they've built. This is a bonus for them. Nice shots there out of Seb. Steel's going to drop. 100 Thieves. They're down to 4. Again, Seb, right? He's just able to anchor that down. There's no room for them to get in.
He's occupying all the defenders. It gives the spike carrier time to come in, put the wall up, drop the spike. And now it's a 4-on-2. If he had lost that duel versus Steel, this would have been a totally different round. Dicey will answer back with 1, make it 2, and suddenly this is a doable defuse here, Doug.
No way. Nitro's sticking it. He's going to get it to half. He's going to back off. Unfortunately, the clip runs dry as Dicey drops. Nitro alone with 22 health and a sheriff to boot. Certainly not out of the realms. Well, never mind.
And if that I was trying to tee it up. I mean, if that shot connects, maybe you get the one sheriff onto Rebo. You know, the Sage is weak. Boy wasn't exactly sitting pretty over there at yellow. There was a reason he wasn't peeking.
Yep.
So, I mean, ANDBOX cleaning it up. All right, we're 3-0 now. And this, look at how much time he's buying. The spike takes 5, 10, 15 seconds. The wall goes up, spike gets planted, and he's just dancing. Right, if he dies early to Steal here, there's a crossfire for 100 Thieves. And that gets very scary trying to put the spike down cleanly. But nevertheless, ANDBOX get it done, much to the credit of Seb fighting for heroics there over at Long B early on. Holds fast, holds steady, and you know, for this next round where you would consider this a bonus in a lot of ways, but I mean, they've got rifles. This isn't going to be a weak buy coming out from ANDBOX by any means, so this will hopefully speak volumes in an early paranoia, an early need to clear space over here today. You got to be thinking this is going to be an A play here, Doug.
Oh, yeah, man. They're all the way in, but Asuna already has 1. Dicey with the hop in his hands takes care of Android as well. As ANDBOX are down to 2 members left. The spike has not been planted. Yeah, he's trying to pick it up, and there's not a ton of room for them to work with here. Right, you've got Dicey with the op, you've got a ton of good crossfires, you even have Steel on the flank that if this round continues to go on, that's going to cause even more problems for the boys on the attacking side. But for now, it's on ANDBOX to figure out, can they get some room? Can they work their way in? Pushing Dicey off is huge, right, as it gives you a little bit of room to breathe, at least get the op, or excuse me, get the spike. But really, the vast majority of this problem is still in front of you. The paranoia is going to come out. They don't really have anywhere to go, Lex.
Yeah, and they've invested the Blaze Storm. Those knives are now gone. And the operator, I mean, you got 15 seconds left, and this is something that I've missed, actually, during the opening phases of this round. Yes, this is big. Yeah, Steel drops yay, and he did invest into that operator. He had to rebuy, so he may as well have just gotten his primary weaponry out, and he got nothing for it. Look at that now. We got double ops coming out for 100 Thieves. That is just... gifts on gifts, to say the least, but ANDBOX still has money in the bank, still going to get a full buyout, and, you know, they do have their res, they do have the showstopper, so I would say, like, when it comes to the ultimate advantage, if you can prevent Steel from collecting an orb or an early frag, there is a lot that you can play into this round to at least exploit this double op. Now, I'm not sure whether or not they're aware of it, but certainly that possibility has got to exist in the back of your mind, where you just lost an operator. How's 100 Thieves going to use it against you? Right away, 5 players coming up from ANDBOX at mid. Nitro, any moment now, is going to catch some flack. But he gets 1 for free, make it 2. Boy and Android both fall, but he's still under heat. TP's out, and he almost escapes, but, you know, that's Reba to find that. Just now, Seb in a 1v3 finds the first, 1v4, a first onto Hiko. Now, 3 players remain for 100 Thieves, Doug, but this is already... disaster striking for ANDBOX. I'm not quite sure what the plan was. I think they were going to wall and split into B right away, but they didn't have any players over towards Long B, so maybe this could have been a situation where maybe they're reading into 100 Thieves setup. Asuna walking down tube, going to shut down Seb, so 2 rounds straight for 100 Thieves. Already turning around here, Doug, for the side of the defense.
Yeah, and it really, we talked about the double op setup. That wasn't even the factor, right? That wasn't the problem. The problem was Nitro. Like, I don't want to make another thief in the night pun because it's 100 Thieves, but maybe I'm just going to lean into the lame jokes. But that was the problem. It wasn't even the ops. And you mentioned how they didn't have any B-long presence. Well, you really couldn't go over there. You saw Seb use an Omen Smoke early on to ensure that no op was going to be waiting on the other side. That funneled everything into mid, and they had no choice really to go anywhere else.
And repeatedly, they're running into this op contact early, but Steel's going to miss his mark. So ANDBOX knows that they've at least won this opening bout. They've secured some map control. The Owl Drone, the Raise Grenade come through. And, you know, despite the fact that this is a low investment round from ANDBOX, you've yielded quite a bit of real estate as 100 Thieves. They do have a Sage Wall, they do have Omen, Paranoia, and Dark Cover coming out, so they're able to grab this space from 100 Thieves, and now there's 2 frags going the way of ANDBOX, Doug.
And the spike looks like it is going to go down.
Spike planted.
Hiko able to take care of Boy, Asuna swinging, taking care of Rebo as well. The Empress is going to be a problem. Dicey's going to drop nice shots from Seb, but Asuna again on the flank, able to take care of Seb. Swinging around. Fancy footwork from Android, however, as he's able to take him out. Gives numbers advantage to ANDBOX's. 100 Thieves is just down to Hiko. Captain Clutch, time and time again. How much do you have in the tank this time around? The showstopper is going to come out. It's not going to connect onto anyone. Hiko taps and continues to swing around, but no, he's not going to. No! Yeah, that looked. Wow, that was brutal.
Unfortunately, that just looks like a misclick. A misplay there, and probably just botched his mechanics. It happens to all of us. Don't sweat it, Hiko. But hey, listen, that was a fun round from ANDBOX. And as teams, man, week by week, I swear, teams are getting better at realizing, okay, if we win this opening piece of map, you know, if we win Long B, if we win green control, and even towards yellow, if we're able to push them off of that yellow container, B site, you know, it used to have this reputation as being really tough to plant, but if you've got a Sage in your lineup, you've got an Omen in your lineup, this is very doable. And Steel getting pressured on that site early on, he, no fault to him, gave whatever ground he could. Look at this mid play again, Doug.
Not again, but it looks like they're wiser to it this time. You see Weebo using a dart, gonna push Nitro back. Very well played. Great adaptation there from ANDBOX, but Steel takes care of Boy. Dicey with the op. Nitro as well. ANDBOX down to 2. They've got the spike. But that might be the only thing they've got going for them in this situation.
I wonder what they're reading. This is almost surely going to be a 100 Thieves round. Android's going to answer back with one onto Asuna. Satchel at the top pipes. He's going to accept the scan and says, I don't care. I'm going to take the dry peek first. Dicey and finds him. So before I write him off, this is 1v5 that looks suddenly doable. He's able to get the better of Steel here. He won't. Okay, so you just had a huge success at Long B, and then you invest literally no utility, seemingly, at least from our POV, no presence made. Steel just walks away from it. He says, okay, listen, there's nobody here. I'm going to go back and check up on mid. Rightly so. Finds one on a Boy. Nitro finds another one in mid. And this potential A split, which I'm not sure whether or not that was going to be the end game plan for ANDBOX necessarily, but didn't work out. And that's the second time they've been shut down over at the middle part of the map. So I wonder whether or not they're going to pressure Steel more throughout this game just to get that kind of honest look towards Long B, make sure he's not cheating over early. And here we are. Dart will not scan him, but blows will be traded in right there. Okay, they weren't committed all 5 towards B early. You can even see on the minimap Aldrone being parked out in front of A.
Yes.
Ye gets this, and again, manipulating the rotations. We were talking about 100 Thieves doing that very well, but ANDBOX is just picking them apart.
And Ye played that so well, and look at all of the resources from 100 Thieves. Look at where they are on the map, and then look at where the spike is, right? Like, they pulled 100 Thieves around the map this round like a freaking puppet on a couple of strings. Dicey's gonna get paranoid, he's gonna back off, but again, the spike's down, and it's in the same spot we saw that pistol last time. They have mid controlled as well with Ye, who slipped his way in there earlier in the round, caused problems for 100 Thieves. He's the safety valve here, and it doesn't look like they're gonna need it. Dicey with the op alone. Ye challenges, and Dicey punishes him for it. Now he's got the Blade Storm. This almost looked like a done deal. Okay, Dicey drops, Seb able to take care of him. That was so well played from ANDBOX.
Yeah, and this is, I love that they make me look smart immediately afterwards, but they go ahead and say, look, Steel's over here alone a lot of these rounds. He's over challenging at times, and certainly he's over rotating, and they've keyed in on it. They immediately identified, okay, we found success there, let's do it again. Android basically takes a solo duel with some Sova support, but, you know, even just spreading the map a little bit from ANDBOX, right away, 100 Thieves is coming back into this round with a double Long B setup just to make sure they don't do this again.
This may be troublesome. 100 Thieves doesn't have full guns either, but there were 5. Now there are 4. Ultimates available for ANDBOX to work with. That's the res as well. 1 off the board, but you pick 1 up, so it's a net. Gosh, Ye! What the heck, man?
That's fun.
And that's not the first time we see something like that, right? Ye's just out of his mind with the Blade Storm. The spike's gonna go up. Very similar setup to what we saw a couple of rounds ago, where they were able to control the pinch point coming in from Snowman. But this time, it's not heroics of a rifle. It's Ye with the op. Also has that Blade Storm in his pocket. 100 Thieves down to 3 members left in a 3v5. You can maybe take a chance at this, but this is not easy.
Yeah, this is a tough spot for 100 Thieves, and not necessarily a juicy look for somehow a lockdown. Okay, as I say that, I was like, doesn't look like it's going to be a lockdown situation, but they use it anyway. 2 frags immediately going towards ANDBOX, so hasn't panned out just yet. Nitro pressing forward, maybe just looking to get a kill or 2. He taps for the ninja, but nothing comes of it. They might lose 1 or 2 players to the spike. Make that 3.
Way.
So well played. I mean, just even tapping the spike there makes them so paranoid of it. So Nitro with the 300 IQ post plant there, but the credit that I'm going to give is towards ANDBOX in the way that they're breaking down this 100 Thieves defense, where their response, I think, was appropriate. They find the opening duel, and they even win it, Doug. But they overstay their welcome, and both duelists fall quickly, and the res comes through in response from Boy right away. So, you know, you might win that opening duel, but it doesn't even seem worth it at that point. Any information you've got is lost, and suddenly 100 Thieves found themselves just 20 seconds into that round in a 5v3. So they're going to go with the same setup, and it's up to Android to not yield this death. You know, if you get picked here early, this goes awry immediately, but he scouts out 1 player. They don't know that there's 2 here just yet. And I was going to say that'll open things up over on the other side of the map, but Nitro takes a long-range duel on Ye over at A. So the balance has already been disrupted, but 100 Thieves didn't lose anything at Long B, has the information that they've lost it. Android pressing the issue a little bit. We drop the Boombot towards site, clears out back yellow.
Yeah, Dicey has nothing but a frenzy there, but he should be the first one on contact. They're going to start to funnel here onto this B site. The wall's going to go up. Asuna sitting on the other side of it, unfortunately, along with Dicey. Android able to take care of Asuna early on as he's playing his way around yellow. You've got to keep an eye on Steel here on the mini-map as he's working his way down the middle of the map. It seems like that's Rebo, who's wise to it. At least checking, make sure there are no shenanigans. There's a showstopper that's going to be used from Android, not going to connect. Dicey able to take care of Boy. Android has that rifle, and they're starting to tap it, right? Nitro's on it right now. It's Student Smokes. Dicey goes in, gets 2, 3 on the round with the frenzy. Give him 4. The round falls apart for ANDBOX.
Wow. I mean, almost an anticlimactic finish. The frenzy frags just coming in looking so easy for Dicey. None of those players were ready for him to be in their face. ANDBOX fall short. But you really gotta wonder. I mean, this was a 4-on-4 post-plant scenario. You have a showstopper available to you. You have a bunch of utility left. And unfortunately, just gets blown up by a sneaky Dicey. And nice frenzy kills, at least. You gotta wonder now. I mean, you didn't yield anything with the showstopper, which is unfortunate. You've got 6 rounds under your belt, though. You got to be feeling good if you're ANDBOX. Certainly going into a traditionally, you know, I would be looking at this map as being defender-sided for the most part. So not all lost. At least you'd say this for your 100 Thieves, where you know you win a force buy, eco, whatever you want to call it. Suddenly you're back in the financial graces of the gaming gods, and suddenly this is a very winnable half. You know, I won't say winnable outright. Max 6. But the A push is already coming out from ANDBOX. Yeah, comfortable 6 rounds here.
They've worked their way so far up already. Steel.
Oh,
that's one. Android with some clean shots again. You see the members of 100 Thieves start to rotate over, but the spike is down. ANDBOX, they don't have any ultimates to try to help with the post plant. But what they do have is positioning. The Empress has been used from Asuna. As they're working the way around, you see that wall's gone up as well, as Asuna trying to quietly get all up in the faces of the members of ANDBOX. It's going to get traded out. Hiko taps, plays off. It's just down to Steel. Steel with 1. Steel with 2, not able to get the 3rd. That looked scary, but Seb shuts it down, extinguishes the fire, and gets to 7 for ANDBOX.
Thought that might honestly be a spray transfer moment, but ANDBOX handling these rounds so well, and the adjustment was a minor one. But you just see Android over there at the beginning of the round making presence, making it look like they're taking long B control, and 100 Thieves seems almost caught between 2 worlds where you want to be pressing for that info. You don't want to be caught in a situation where you lose a player early on, get picked towards B, have to over-rotate. And the few times that ANDBOX did get that outcome, you know, they were able to manipulate those rotates. That's come up several times now where, you know, the lurks kind of just happen. And this is that mid play where twice now ANDBOX has been shut down. These are 2 rounds that 100 Thieves have won, and it's because of Nitro's play at mid. So Doug, take us through this as they push up towards Boiler on a perfect timing. Nitro doesn't see them right in front of him. Just seconds away. Hiko will scatter it out, but now the A split's underway.
Yeah, Nitro was set up in a different spot there. We've seen him under tube cause so many problems, but this time playing ramps. But you're right. Hiko saw that. They saw that Hiko saw him, then they pulled over, right? But Steel already able to get 2. Asuna gets 1 as well. And you see how aggressive Asuna is choosing to play this, understanding that where the spike is, he's going to get a gun upgrade too. The paranoia is going to come out. What can they do? Rebo drops as well. Man, they're investing everything in the kitchen sink. A flawless round to close out the half. But even with that in mind, ANDBOX look good, right? Like it hasn't just been the frags. It hasn't been anything. It hasn't just been like one-dimensional. They're playing the map so well.
They look good and they look confident now, Doug.
Yep.
You know, map 1, maybe you saw some myth plays. I know I did, where ANDBOX just didn't seem to necessarily be in their element yet. But man, like lots of different players in this roster have stepped up at different times. Here's Seb just buying a lot of time on the site there for his team. This play from Dicey again, just picking up four.
It's unreal, man.
4 free ones. Well, wow. I mean, ANDBOX really stepped. By the way, 3 of those 5 rounds lost to 100 Thieves were at that mid play. And even then, in that last one, Nitro just, it looked like really bad timing for 100 Thieves, but ANDBOX kind of just played themselves there, where they walked back into a different crossfire. And you got to be like, okay, shake that one off, move into the next round. And already we're getting 5 players for 100 Thieves pressing towards A, and ANDBOX was prepped for a B push. They'll rotate back as quickly as they can, and this Sage wall will buy enough time, hopefully, for that, Doug, but not quite committed yet.
Well, and that's where you see Sage be so troublesome, right? Asuna not able to connect on that, but Dicey does. As both teams have dropped 1. Yay, trying to get one with the Sheriff, not able to get the second. But dealt some damage. There's Android as well. The spike's going to go down. As they have at least that much information. Android going in, taking care of Hiko. It's going to leave things on to Steel. Steel, certainly formidable with the Sheriff as well, but this time, no antics to take care of things. Android with 3 on the round as ANDBOX win the pistol.
And they took first half pistol, now they're taking second half pistol. This was ANDBOX's map pick for a few reasons, Doug. And obviously we touched on a lot of them already, but you gotta figure for 100 Thieves, this is definitely a test, right? Where maybe this isn't the most prepared you could be on a map. Maybe we haven't seen enough out of them to know like what their weaknesses are. But at its very most basic level, losing both pistols, you got to come up with an eco round win here, where a force buy round win, whatever you want to call it, where they're investing stingers, they're investing these sheriffs. Find an opening duel right here. We already have Nitro taking one. Hopefully, for the sake of 100 Thieves, this yields a little bit more than it did the last time round, where ANDBOX was able to get out to I believe it was a 4-0 start very comfortably and build a bank early on. Can't allow that now, and especially when you've got such a round deficit on what I would consider the hard side, right? The attack side of the map, you've got 7 rounds minimum to come up with. You lose pistol. But get that any way you can, and now as this wall will fall, 100 Thieves moving into a B split, Doug.
They wait out the wall, they work their way all the way into kitchen, and oh no. Oh boy, was there. But they just had no kitchen control, right? He got taken out. Android's gonna drop as well. The force up from 100 Thieves seems to be paying off, at least for the time being. But Rebo gets one, he's gonna drop. Yay. Down to the Sheriff, he's gonna swap it out for the Spectre. He's in a 1v4 here. They also know where he is. That's a big pick though from Ye. He gets one, but he goes shock darts, just too much for ANDBOX here. Again, 100 Thieves forced up, and it pays off.
Yeah, some stellar shock dart action there from Hiko to close it out, but that's exactly what you need if you're 100 Thieves. If you had slid 9, 10 rounds to ANDBOX this early on, you're sitting on 5 yourself. That's a tall order. That's a deficit that may seem at the time of an attack side attack side icebox as being near unsurmountable. But here we are, turn things on their head. 8-6. This is a seemingly close scoreline where ANDBOX feeling pressured to regain what they've maybe just lost in terms of a financial advantage, an early round advantage, investing quite a bit here, lying back. Marshall. Frag didn't quite land for Seb, but at least he's shown his presence, making 100 Thieves second guess this peak. And he does get a tag out of Nitro, at least for his troubles. There's no Sage on the side of 100 Thieves here, so he will stay weak throughout this round. And actually, as I say that, it's not as though they're on stingers completely. Vandal on Android there. But broken by for sure. And 100 Thieves showing a little bit of long B presence early. Check out the rotations from ANDBOX. They lack this information over towards B now, so 2 players dedicated towards it. Yay. Wise to the possibility of an A regroup, though, finds the head of Asuna at long range. And immediately the spike's being rushed up into A from Dicey.
Right, 100 Thieves still want to go here. Oh, but Dicey had to back off, right? Like, he got tagged and he had to dash back. Android's able to hold the line, at least for now. But Dicey and Seal get in on it, as does Nitro. Things look good as they now equal down to a 2v2. The spike is down, and it looks like Nitro is going to be able to reposition, pick it up, and then potentially run for the fences. I think the other important thing to note is you look on the minimap, there's room for them to work with.
Yeah, room to work with, but not necessarily time to work with. 15 seconds left. Steel will dash any hopes of the spike being dropped early on, but Nitro's at a foot race now to get it down in time. He will, but, you know, for the sake of Boy to be able to regroup or reset, reposition himself, he gets all the way back around long B, and if he gets a free one here on a Nitro, that could mean a winnable 1v1. He's even going to get a heal out for it. So, Doug, this 1v1 is underway.
Yeah, but the Killjoy utility, man, that just gives away so much. The turret was there first. You see nanoswarms all over the place. You can't get within sniffing distance of that thing without getting lit up. Boy. Oh, he doesn't. Oh, the mollies come there, but Steel was wise to it. 3K with the Stinger. 100 Thieves get to 7.
I mean, we saw how powerful Steel's, nanoswarms were in the previous map, even just a couple times, and right there, the post plant. That double stack was chock full of danger for Sage there in the 1v1, so Boy not able to get it done. And ANDBOX really was looking stellar in this force buy, trying to reset things again. It almost happens, but Steel with a big 3K to close things out there for the side of 100 Thieves.
All right, ANDBOX, light here, Bucky, pistols, and a Marshall. Certainly not what you want to carry into this. They do have that Blade Storm, but Dicey's already able to take care of Boy early on, and the spike isn't fully committed, right? 100 Thieves they have their pick of the litter here.
Well, you asked me about it in pregame, Doug, which was, 100 Thieves, at least on Ascent, had the power of manipulating rotates, of pressuring parts of the map, backing off it, denying information, and re-hitting other parts of the map consistently without ANDBOX being wise to it. And right here, oh man, I love this. Fakes the shadow step, and immediately you see they don't buy it. Ye is going to press the issue at mid, gets one traded out by Steel, but look at Seb. He's an omen himself. He's seen that trick a time or two. Knows that Nitro wouldn't just blind risk that TP into oblivion. They get a Vandal for his trouble. Doesn't look left, and so they bypass each other. 2 ships passing in the night, and the spike. Look at this.
Oh, Seb's got a chance. That's a big one. Right, that lockdown's going to be used, but Seb able to get that pick early on. Steel's going to take care of it. However, as things drop down to a 3v2 in favor of 100 Thieves, the spike is going to finally get planted. Rebo dropped, unfortunately, and that makes an already difficult situation almost impossible. But Android with the Marshall, keeping things interesting, at least for now. He's going to dash his way up and then drop instantly at the hands of Nitro. 100 Thieves get us to 8 apiece.
Oh. I mean, that was just the fan Lex coming through, where I'm just like, we're about to see something epic happen. I mean, like, okay, picture this. You've got Hiko in his drone with the spike in hand, far away from his teammates. You got to think, okay, Seb's going to get a free one. He's going to be able to reposition very cleanly. He's got dark covers to work with, and unfortunately just gets one tapped immediately afterwards, but almost a dicey situation from 100 Thieves.
Oh,
I did it. Oh, and an early showstopper from Android opened things up at Long B, Doug.
Loving the aggression, loving the confidence out of ANDBOX as they've already taken care of 2 from the members of 100 Thieves. The attacking side, certainly worse for wear, as now they have to figure out what the heck they do with this round, right? B's certainly not an option. They got all up in their laps, and they got pushed back. The only real place they can go here is A, and you see the members of ANDBOX, wise to it, already starting to rotate over. They've entirely abandoned B. That's where 100 Thieves has to go. The wall's going to be up there as well to delay things. Asuna's going to drop. 100 Thieves just down to a couple of members. Steel able to get something, right, as he gets one, but he's all that's left here in this round for 100 Thieves, as he's going to drop a 1v4. He's going to try to get that ult orb at least as a parting gift, right? A consolation prize. That's all they're going to get.
Well, at least for now. He's going to look for all the consolation prizes he can, I'm sure. Spike, winning the round aside, saving the Vandal, getting any kind of exit frags that you can here, trying to get towards that lockdown, will not be an understated expense at the hand of ANDBOX if they decide to give up any gunfights. And through
Certainly
the bars, finds that one on the Android. And this isn't quite over yet for the ensuing gunfights, but in terms of the round, it is. Steel will fight it out as best he can. But Doug, I mean, this round right here is a good example of why I think I love Icebox. It's a very, if played in the way that it is right now, it is a very logical map. Okay, that that long B lane, channeling a lot of aggression there early is the defense, right? Popping an ultimate into Nitro's instant shadow step. That's a gamble for the side of 100 Thieves to be able to just take that. And if you're Omen in that situation, you cannot cancel. If you hear the showstopper, you are accepting your fate at that point, right? Yeah. And they're able to just react to it. Okay, we've got the numbers advantage. Let's rotate A. We're going to give up all of B. 100 Thieves is reacting very predictable at the same time. So there's a lot of moving pieces where, you can make safe assumptions. And again, aggression from ANDBOX. Well, just aggression in general from ANDBOX. But this time, also to getting the better of Android. A couple rounds in a row, we saw ANDBOX find success. And Steel keying in on the fact that the Sage is towards A now. Repeatedly, there's no wall inside of the mid tube, so he just walks right up, takes a gunfight, and finds another one for his team.
Oh, and
again.
Well, even with that, like ANDBOX aggressively, at least Rebo was postured up by A, and Asuna was just able to take care of him. ANDBOX, they have the res, but Asuna, oh boy, with some nice shots, right? A clean snap onto him as he takes care of Asuna, but Steel is still, he's all the way in there. Right, ANDBOX down to a couple members left. See if they can get a res going, potentially make something happen here out of a pretty bad situation. 100 Thieves have made their way up B long, and it looks like they've set their sights on B. Steel again, because he's been able to get in as deeply as he has, should have enough control of the site. They're going to invest the lockdown as well as the spike plants. ANDBOX have to respect it, but they've got some time, right? They can wait, see if they can get a pick before they back off. You see him getting out of the range of the ultimate. Well,
not just a save decision, but I need to get out of here and not get detained decision, and he doesn't quite make it. Steel already on the hunt, trying to get these weapons out of the hands of ANDBOX if possible. Contact exchange there towards defender spawn, and you highlighted it, and I think it was Seb lacking a little bit of, ooh, boy, we'll get the better of Steel, so we'll hang on to this Phantom for now. But the early decision, to not res, you were touching on it. It's not as though that's a good play or a bad play. I think they just lacked info towards B, unsure of whether or not 100 Thieves are going to regroup. And Dicey with 2 backstab frags on the side of ANDBOX, falling completely out of what may have been counted as a, at least they saved these weapons. That's quickly deleted. Kills from Dicey to hunt those down, but this early A aggression, you lose this duel to Asuna, 100 Thieves is going to win the round. I want to see the stats on whether or not that's an actual factual statement at this point, but it seems as like every single time that just rings true.
And we've seen ANDBOX has had a hard time recovering from that, but what we can say is that this Icebox, at least for now, has been a freaking fist fight, man. Tied up at 9 apiece. Asuna gets opener. Hiko's going to use the Hunter's Fury. But boy with the ghost. He's already gotten 2.
That boy's fragging. And, this is just a pissed around save, but I just figured, okay, Asuna's getting the opening pick, Lex. You look smart again. But here we are, 5-on-3 now with the res. The investment seemingly worth it. Android already caught off by a Nitro lurk up mid, though. If he's got defender spawn on lock, that means they're going to reflank back. You already see Ye and Boy sprinting through attacker spawn, but Nitro not done just yet at kitchen. Well, Rebo's going to go ahead and pop the Hunter's Fury to deal with that, Doug.
Yeah, Nitro was in deep, man, but look, they're about to walk right into each other. Ye takes care of Dicey. Hiko's the last one alive. The spike did go down, and it's a 1v3. This is not possible. One, not able to get the second. ANDBOX is going to get the defuse, and they're going to take a 1-round lead.
Love to see those ghost picks early from Boy. You got to think for 100 Thieves there, you wide swing early, you take that early aggressive peek, and you get the first pick on A site. But it's a deep one, right? So they're expecting, all right, they're playing normal A setup, they're playing on the A site, but Boy, the Sage, who presumably the most passive agent you can think of to be over there at A, has walked up underneath you and caught both unawares. Nice play from Boy to set his team up, and then he turns around and gets the res, right? So you've not only eliminated 2 of your opponents, but you've brought one of your own back from the dead. Put yourself in a 5v3 very early on. Nice play from ANDBOX to silence that response from 100 Thieves, which looks so decisive when it comes out. And now you've reclaimed the lead, you've reclaimed financial freedom, and certainly there's no clear, ultimates that are going to change the sway or the flow of this round early, but you may fight for that orb control on either side as they are spreading a default. 100 Thieves is.
And you see the trust that they're putting on Ye. Oh, man.
Rebo in his owl, man.
Yeah. Like, it's freaking deja vu. We just saw that with Hiko. But honestly, the outcome was the same, right? Steel was only able to get one, and then he drops. Ye has been here the entire time. He was up on Rafters before. He has an op, but that paranoia is going to cause so many problems. And the Dicey was just there on the other side to welcome him with a couple of blades of his own. Nitro's going to get the spike down. And now it's going to be on ANDBOX to fight to take this bad boy back. They have decent positioning, right? You see Seb on the other side. He's got to land the shot, so gets one. He's going to get pushed back, and that's going to allow the other members of ANDBOX to take some of that site space back. The paranoia is going to come out from Seb, but Nitro behind. Seb gets 3 as he continues to cause problems for 100 Thieves. They're down to 2 members left. Seb swinging around, realizing that there are a couple players just around the corner. Seb gets it. Drops things down to a 1v1. Hiko, Seb. He understands where he is, and I don't think Seb really has much of a choice here. Yeah, he's gonna get cleaned up. Hiko put him in an almost impossible situation.
Wow, and that was really well played from Seb. Listen, if you go from the shadows into the back lines, the entire attacking team is turning around to look at you, and that is, right. You teed it up nicely. They're all gonna be, giving their attention to you, hopefully opening things up for your teammates on the retake. Instead, 100 Thieves kind of left him in a 1v3 scenario where, there wasn't a whole lot to do except for heroics, and he delivered on a few of those counts. A very valiant effort. However, things are all tied up, and we've got 2 healthy buys, or at least mostly healthy buys. ANDBOX on a Spectre or 2. So perhaps not the healthiest of buys that the caster just said, but yay. Ooh, facing this early long B pressure. And again, this is why I like Icebox right here. Nitro has earned his place over here at Long B. And suddenly ANDBOX has to dedicate a player or 2 defending this B split. Now, in the previous round, Doug, we saw a lurk from Steel underneath Tube, follow-up from Dicey up to Boiler, even flanking screens in the end there to get the frag out of Ye. So I would describe mid as an identified weakness from 100 Thieves. And right away, look.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, a weakness as Rebo is just railing them with shock darts through this dark cover, but it doesn't matter. They know, okay, it's just a Sova over here. Like, let's go shoot this guy. And they do just that. They reset immediately. Dicey's in through screens with the flank Android-wise to it. Doug, the A hit's coming in now.
Yeah, Asuno's going to use the Empress. Keep an eye on Steel on the minimap. He's taking the middle of the map. Asuno gets 1. Nitro gets it as well. And now ANDBOX down to 2 members left. They have a decent idea of where Steel is. That op is going to be out of the equation as it's just down to Seb. They, again, know where he is as well. 100 Thieves take the lead here on Icebox.
This is 3 or 4 rounds now where 100 Thieves has, even just, look at that. 3 out of the last 4, 5 out of the last 6 from 100 Thieves just winning those rounds, not necessarily in the cleanest of fashion, but we're talking about attack side Icebox here where you don't necessarily care that it's coming down to 1v1s.
Right,
if it's working, a win's a win. And the scoreline says that, okay, 11-10 now, 100 Thieves back in, I would say a commanding lead considering the economy of ANDBOX, where they're down to scraps now, trying to force out these rounds, but they have not made an adjustment to the way that they're defending. And, okay, so actually I take that back. 2 rounds in a row now. I think that Sage Wall has gone down early on, but Steel has still been able to exploit that. Dicey's still able to exploit it to the point where ANDBOX has no answer, and it's just Rebo over there trying to finagle his way into a mid defense. Hasn't panned out. So on this, I'll call it a buy round for ANDBOX, although there are certainly a few of them that are lacking in either utility or weaponry. But this long B control has already been yielded, so 100 Thieves in a spread default, and that's a big kill coming out from Seb, Doug, because not only are you going to take away the Sova, but you've already eaten a lot of time off the clock. There's no spike plant yet. Even with that limited utility, I would say that ANDBOX is comfortable with what map control they've yielded so far.
Yeah, look at the aggression from Boy. He might be able to catch Steel, but the problem is 100 Thieves have taken B. Man, they're all the way in there. There's not a ton left in the last line that was there was Android, and he's going to drop. It's just down to Rebo here. He's got the Bulldog. Just trying to keep 100 Thieves away from match point. Not able to land the shot so far. Things looking really good for 100 Thieves. And Lex, correct me if I'm wrong here. If I'm not mistaken, ANDBOX, they didn't have a ton of money to go into this one. I think they're going to be on a broken buy again.
I mean, they have a little bit of bonus going their way, but yeah, their money is more than hurting, Doug. They had like 2 rifles maybe in the last round, and again, we see it right here. A Guardian and a Vandal is the most that they can scrape together, and I overstated or misstated the fact that they were comfortable in that 5-on-4 in the map control that they had, because it seemed like Seb immediately overpeaked, lost his head for it, and nobody else was really. I mean, the boy flank may have paid off in the end, but Steel was holding steady at mid for a reason, just anticipating that kind of aggression from an ANDBOX low buy. So 12-10, 100 Thieves in the last 2 or 3 rounds, specifically the last 5, I think for sure you could say this, have had ANDBOX figured out. And despite some opening picks going the way of ANDBOX, Doug, this has been the 100 Thieves show, and what a time to do it, to potentially close this series out. 12-10 now, 2-0 potential on the table.
Yeah, we're seeing a very similar setup to what we saw in the previous round. Seb is going to be backed by Snowman. He's got a Guardian again, trying to hold things down over at B. He's still hanging out there. A heavy investment from ANDBOX defensively. Stack a couple of members over at A, but here we go. Now things are going to get started. Seb gets the information that he needs, understanding that the push is over at B. ANDBOX slow, but starting to rotate over. They still have left 2 members further up over by A. Boy's going to take the scenic route back as Ye starts to push forward again. The Hunter Fury is going to be used from Hiko. Tags up 1. Oh, he gets the second, not able to get the 3rd shot to get the kill, but Steel takes care of Ye. Ye was the one on the flank. Rebo takes care of 1. Asuna trades it back out. There's the showstopper. Android just buying time, right? Pushing members back, but the lockdown might be the difference maker, as they still haven't fired that off. The spike still hasn't been planted yet. It's just sitting harmlessly in the middle of the site. ANDBOX have a shot here. They don't have the numbers advantage, but they do have his positioning. They managed to get the spike up, however. Android trying to keep them back. The spike's going to go down. Here's Android on the flank in a 3v1 to try to keep the map alive, to try to keep the tournament alive, but he's going to drop. Ladies and gentlemen, your former kings of North America punch their ticket to the big dance. 100 Thieves defeats ANDBOX, and they qualify for the close qualifiers.
Well, Doug, we were wondering about 100 Thieves and their potency on Icebox and whether or not